Hey there, it's Joseph. Welcome back to the YouTube channel dedicated to San Miguel de Allende secrets. And today we're going to talk about how the Creole race changed everything here in town. As always, if you need additional information, in the descriptive box below are links to various websites, including Amazon.com, that has all the best-selling books in the San Miguel de Allende Secrets book series. During the Inquisition, or colonial era, of San Miguel de Allende, it was best to be a Spaniard born in Spain. Hence, you were at the top of the caste system with the most opportunities. Second in line were the offspring of peninsulars, those born in the Iberian Peninsula, born here in town called Creoles. From there, the opportunities in life largely depended on your skin tone, as from 14 to 20 more races were created between Africans, indigenous, and as such intermarried and reproduced. On the surface, being Creole or in second place doesn't sound so bad. Plus, really, who would want their pregnant mother to cross the ocean and back just so you could be born in Spain? Nothing complements morning sickness like seasickness. However, most San Miguel de Allende Creoles were keenly aware of their limitations, which, like an unattended pot, caused a boil leading to the War of Independence from Spain. But what exactly did all these Creoles have in common? San Miguel de Allende was a mixed society. The individuals that made up this mass of mixed people were so absorbed in surviving and making a place for themselves in a polarized world between whites and indigenous, they hardly had the strength to assert their own identity. Of all the groups that participated in the creation of San Miguel de Allende in the 17th century, only the Creoles created the conditions to feel and act as a group with common identities, ways of life, and aspirations. The town's first Creoles, both socially and economically, rested on the prestige of being descendants of the conquistadors. Being a Creole only entered into crisis mode when the crown installed a bureaucracy of Spanish officials that excluded the Creoles from managerial positions. At the end of the 16th century, San Miguel's Creoles resented the continuous deterioration of their social position against the Spaniards who came here, stayed a few years, and returned to Spain enriched. Plus, there was the Creole identity problem. Creoles were American by birth, and from the second or third generation, they rarely had any intention of going to Spain. The most notable difference between Spanish and the English, Dutch, or French colonizers in the New World is the surprising speed which the Spanish colonists became Americanized. Spaniards not only aimed to control the silver, but to transform the very life of the indigenous through intermarriage and conversion. Conquistadors were encouraged to marry native women and reproduce, so these mixed-race babies were Spanish, but strongly influenced by the indigenous food, customs, and way of life. Language and religion became the main vehicles for the westernization of the American world. For the first time, the inhabitants of Mexico communicated through the same language. If Spanish operated as the bridge that allowed communication between the diverse ethnic groups, religion was the cement that unified the social diversity around shared beliefs, values, and behaviors. In less than a century, the practices and principles of the Catholic religion unified all races in a single religion by mixing Catholicism into indigenous beliefs. Games, parties, agricultural events, work, political events, and natural events became entwined with religious symbols that continue to the present day. San Miguel de Allende became headquarters of the religious orders and universities, whose philosophies were based on Catholicism. Since these institutions were the only ones authorized to educate the population, Catholicism monopolized the arts, including books, music, paintings, theater, poetry, and architecture. Plus, Creoles had a Creole version of the Virgin Mary, Guadalupe, seen there to the left. Rich in symbolism, creating a new country, Mexico, in race, indigenous mixed with Europeans, that proved even God's mother was a Creole. The creation of the popular religious symbols such as the Virgin of Guadalupe, the creation of a grandiose and Baroque architecture, plus Spanish being the universal language, created a Creole consciousness that fused indigenous and Spanish values into something unique and wholly Mexican. That's part of why native son, Ignacio Allende, pictured here to the right, himself a Creole, wanted Mexico free from Spain and this future free from not being born here. Feel free to click the subscribe button below and you'll get notifications all month long here